in a rush, girl. No, it's just us, girl. Let me know what's up, girl. What's up, girl? Cause I'm gonna throw it down. Beat it, oh, go down. Beat it up, take it down, 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 down. And I'ma beat it up. Let me set the tempo. Let me.
What's up, guys?
Hey,
I'm Ishmael,
I'm Mikayla.
or Ish, whichever you want to call me. We've had a lot of suggestions on doing relationship videos or couple videos, and guess we decided to do it. So our first video will actually be about how we started dating, and you know how I got her and whatnot, because you know the game was tight. So that's yeah, right.
No.
Well, all right. So just a little bit of background on us. We're both 26 years old, from Charleston, West Virginia. We've been together since we were 16. We get married in March, next month? Well, basically next month. Yeah, so we will get married on our 10-year anniversary. We will have been together for 10 years on the day we get married. So
Yes.
excited about that. But basically, on to how we started dating. First off, we first saw each other freshman year of high school, right?
Yes.
Freshman year of high school. And we were at Lately Field, which is the football stadium that our high school plays at.
And I was a cheerleader.
She was a cheerleader. I played basketball, but this was football season. So we were at the football field, and one of my close friends, Devon, played on the football team. So me and him, I was with him on the track, and she was with one of her friends, both of our friends. Her name was Ashley. She was a cheerleader as well. And I knew Ashley from classes earlier that day. Mind you, I had just moved back to West Virginia from North Carolina. So I didn't really know too many people. I knew people from when I had grown up in West Virginia, but I hadn't met too many people since elementary. So basically, I didn't know too many people that I was going to high school with. I knew Devon because he was in my homeroom class, so me and him were pretty tight. Me and Ashley, I think we had English or something like that. So I didn't know Mikayla at the time. So me and Devon are talking to Ashley, and Mikayla walks up. So the conversation goes on for a little bit, and then me and Devon walk off. So, the kid must have been looking good, because
No.
she goes to ask Ashley, who was that? Who was that with the hair?
It wasn't like that. It was just like, who's that? The one with the hair. Like, I liked his hair, so. I was nosy.
She was on me, is what it was.
No.
So, fast forward to basketball season. We were in the gym at Aces, right? I always get that part wrong. Aces.
Yes, it had to be Aces.
We were at in our upstairs gym at our high school, and I remembered I had seen her at Lately, and I ain't gonna lie, I had been scoping her since I saw her that day. So finally got enough courage to go up to her and say something. I didn't know what I was going to say, but it was pretty much just us in the gym. Everybody had left. She was getting her stuff on, and she was getting ready to leave. So I walk up there and I see her, so I'm like, all right, this is my chance. I got to say something, anything. So the first thing that comes to mind is I see her with some Jordans on. Mind you, I don't even wear Jordans. That's not my style. Like, I like to wear things that most other people don't wear as far as shoes are concerned. So she had on some Jordans. So I go up to her and I'm like, what you know about them J's you got on? Well, come to find out, I don't know if she was like not interested at the time, or knowing her now, obviously she's just as blunt as can be, and she doesn't think twice about anything she says. So her instant response is, oh, I don't know nothing about him. My boyfriend got him for me. So shot me down right there. I didn't have anything to say. After that, I believe I just walked off. I don't think I had anything to say. I was just like, and I walked off. So I'm not the type to try to force my way into someone else's relationship. If they have something good going on, who am I to try to?
But who said that we had anything good going on?
The point isn't that whether they had something good going on or not. The point is that she was in a relationship. And I was always taught, don't step into nobody else's relationship.
I didn't know that's what he was trying to do, though. I thought he was just being curious and trying to be like a friend. So I didn't get that vibe from you.
Well, yeah, I guess so. I mean, if I just ask you about your shoes, I figured you probably wouldn't know what I was getting at.
No.
But regardless, I was a nervous freshman. I didn't know how to say anything, and I'm glad I didn't, because the shoes pretty much told me the information I wanted to know. I wanted to know whether she was taken or not, and the shoe conversation taught me that. So, fast forward to sophomore year, we had a couple classes together, and actually one of the classes, my schedule got changed, so we didn't have that class together anymore. So that led us to only having one class together, which was science.
But before he got out of that class, I think that's when he caught my eye more because he was funny. And when at first, I just thought he was real quiet and shy. I mean, I still thought he was quiet and shy even after this, but I found out that he was funny.
Yeah, she used to always say that I was a clown in that class, which anybody who knows me knows that I'm naturally a clown. It's just in me. I got it from my dad. My dad's the biggest clown you can ever meet, so it's just in us. Like, our nature is just to be funny, and it's not like we're even intending to be funny. And she used to say that all the time, like I was the funniest when I wasn't trying to be funny. Right. So I wasn't like, I remember all of the instances that she tells me about in that class, and I wasn't trying to be funny. It was just, I guess it just turned out to be funny. So like she said, I guess that's what caught her eye. So after I got switched out of that class, I didn't really see her much until the end of the day, because we had, was it 7th or 8th period? I think it was 8th.
I think it was 8th too.
Yeah, I think it was the last period of the day, which is 8th. So we had science together. So one day, science class rolls around, and end of the day, everybody's about to leave. The class is pretty much over, and I'm like, I have my back turned to the front of the classroom. I'm talking to somebody behind me, and she walks up and puts something on my desk. It's a piece of paper. So I'm looking at it. I turn around and I look at it, and it's her phone number. And it's a cell phone number and a house phone number. So who giving out both numbers unless they checking for it? That's how I see it. So
no.
So anyway.
No.
No. Let me finish before you.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Before you start to try to defend yourself.
Okay, go ahead.
I look at it, and I look up at her, and I'm like, what's this for? And she was like, just so you can call me or whatever. So I'm like, all right, I don't think nothing of it, because in my mind, she still has a boyfriend, which she did. But go ahead and tell everybody why you decided to give me your number, which I don't think is true.
Excuse me. Well, my house in high school was on a hill, so very what is it? Excluded? What was the word?
Yeah, I guess, you were excluded from everybody.
Yeah, from everyone. So when I got home, I just wanted to converse with people from school. It wasn't on like no flirting type thing, nothing like that. It was just, I wanted to talk to him and talk to others when I was at home, so I wouldn't be bored and stuff. I don't see why that was a problem.
That wasn't a problem. I just figure if you're gonna write down not only your cell phone number and your house phone,
I'm just
as
saying,
well as your house.
You can't reach me on one of them, you can reach me on the other.
Basically, she wanted me to reach her. That's what I took from it. So,
okay, yeah.
Anyways, I ended up not hitting her phone or calling her or anything, because obviously I knew she had a boyfriend. Her boyfriend was actually in our grade. This is a completely different dude than she was dating in 9th grade. But I knew them both, but this guy actually went to school with us, so I'm definitely not about to try to step into their relationship like that. That's not what the number calls drama in high school. So regardless, which the drama ended up coming anyway, but back to the subject. I ended up not hitting her phone, and she, what was it? Oh, no. We both were on MySpace. It was MySpace, right?
Yeah.
We were both on MySpace, and I just happened to come across her page, and I think I had commented on her page, or she commented on my page, one or the other. and one of us said, "Oh, you stole my song off my page," because back then that's what was popping about MySpace, your song. Everybody go to your page to see what your song is,
Right.
and we had the same song. So basically, we was both going back and forth like, "Nah, you stole my song." So that conversation pretty much died down, and once that died down, I get a message from her, and the message says, "You never used that number that I gave you." So me, I'm like, I'm not going to. You got a man, this, and that, or whatever. And
That wasn't me. Like, just at the time, just because I had a boyfriend doesn't mean I can't have friends with, other guys or girls, whatever. I can talk to whoever I want to talk to. That's what I was going to do. So, I don't even understand why he thought that. Like, oh, you got a man, what we need to talk for? Why not?
Well, so to speed things up a little bit, after that conversation happens, we were pre-assigned for our science class, and pre-assignment means our teacher isn't there for the day. So instead of us having a substitute, she assigned us to go to a different classroom. Each student had a different classroom that they're supposed to go to if the teacher isn't there. Us being the rebels that we are, me, her, and my homeboy Justin, we decided that we're not going to art class. We're going to go in the library, in the media center. We're just going to sit in there and chill. So we go in there and we end up talking. And the whole time, she just seems like she's upset. Like, we can see that something's wrong with her. So we go in there, and me and Justin try to play counselor and talk to her and see what's going on. And she pretty much tells us that stuff was going bad with her boyfriend at the time, and they wasn't together, da-da-da-da-da. So basically, I see this as my opportunity. So we talked for a while about her boyfriend and this and that. And then now that I know she doesn't have a boyfriend, I think I ended up calling her that day. So we talked on the phone. Speed up a couple weeks. We had been talking every day, every night. We was talking. She was the last person I was talking to every night, talking on the phone for hours. Like, most people know back in the day, your parents, when they say it's time to go to sleep, it's time to go to sleep. Like, that's what it is. So, me being the person I am, I would cut my lights off and everything, and I'd be in there, and I would still be on the phone. And when your parents walk in the room, you gotta act like you sleep. Try to put your phone under your pillow and all of that stuff. So that happened plenty of nights. So at this point, I'm feeling like we talk. That's what we doing, right? Every night we on the phone, we talk. So her little rude self, she comes up to me in front of tons of people. We're in the hallway. So in high school, the hallways is always pumping. There's people everywhere. So she comes up to me with an attitude. So I'm like, I know I ain't did nothing. So I don't know what she tripping off of. So she just stops me and says, "Oh, so you're telling people we talk?" And I'm like, yeah, like, that's what we do. Like, we talk on the phone every night, right? Just because I talk to you on the phone does not mean we talking. So stop telling people we talk. So at this point, I'm embarrassed. I'm like, dang, I thought I was in there.
You just can't assume that we're talking, because just because I'm talking to you does not mean I'm not talking to anyone else. So, yeah.
Like I said, she was the last person I was talking to every night. We getting off the phone at like 3 or 4 in the morning. As far as I'm concerned, there's nobody else to talk to at those hours. Everybody's asleep.
It was at 3 or 4 in the morning every night.
Majority of the time. But yeah, so fast forward a little further. At this point, I'm like, all right, I got to try to get my foot in the door. I don't know what to do. Valentine's Day is rolling around. So, mind you, I played basketball and she was a cheerleader. So, I didn't work. I didn't have no time to work. So, whenever I would get money, like from my parents or anything like that, I would save it. And I never forget, it was the night before Valentine's Day. And I told my mom when she got off work, I was like, "Mom, I need to go to the store and get some Valentine's Day stuff." So she like, "For what? Like, you don't pass out Valentine's Day stuff in high school. Like, you don't do that anymore, especially not as a sophomore." So I'm like, "Nah, I want to get somebody something." So moms off rip, you want to get who? You want to get who something? I'm like, "Mom, just this girl at school." So I go spend up my own money on, what was it, balloons? Candy and a bear. So mind you, that's balling in high school. Somebody walk up in school with that. That's big time. That's a big time Valentine's Day gift. You ain't just giving some chocolate. You got balloons, bear, and chocolate. So Valentine's Day, the morning of Valentine's Day rolls around. So first period is about to start. So instead of me going to my first period class, I go to her first period class, and I'm standing at the door, and her teacher looks over to me and was like, "Can I help you?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She was like, "Who's that for?" And I pointed at Mikayla. So she's shocked. She's shocked. And she's like, "Me?"
Like, me? And I look back like, wait a minute, who's it here for?
Right. So I end up giving it to her. She gives me a big old hug, smiling from ear to ear. So at that point, I'm like, all right, now she know for real this is legit. She know I really want her. So later in that day, her boyfriend that wasn't her boyfriend at the time, mind you, they had just broken up. So people are coming up to me at school all day talking about some oh, you giving my boy's girl Valentine's gifts and all of this stuff. So that's not me. I'm not for that. You're not just gonna come up to me and talk to me any kind of way. My dad didn't raise me like that, so I was giving it back to him pretty much. Like, that's not his girl, and yeah, I got it for her. Like, what's up? But never really escalated anywhere. So yeah, that happened, and I guess she really saw that I was into her, and after that we start talking a lot more, and we end up dating.
That's it?
I mean, you can throw in whatever else you want to throw. Go ahead. I mean, I wasn't really going to delve into it, but if you want to take it there, we can. All right, so before we actually start dating, we had, as I said, we had been talking on the phone, but at this point, it was more, we both knew we were talking. So it was more of a, what do you call it? Mutual thing. Yeah. So one day I'm going to a party with my cousin, it's my older cousin, and I was on the phone with her, so I'm like, I'm about to go to this party with Leek, I'm going to call you back. So she like, all right, have fun or whatever, make sure you call me later. So I'm like, all right, bet. So we get to the party, come to find out it's more like a kickback, and everybody like ducked off with their little joint or whatever. So me being the youngest in there, I'm just sitting on the couch the whole time. So I'm like, I ain't doing nothing else. I might as well go ahead and call her. So I call her phone, and a dude pick up the phone. So I'm looking at the phone, I'm like, hello? And he like, hello? So I look at the phone, and I'm like, can I speak to Mikayla? Because I know she had an older cousin, so I wasn't for sure if it was him or what. So I'm like, can I speak to Mikayla? And he was like, yeah, hold on. So then he was like, hold up, y'all talk or something? And I'm like, yeah, something like that. At this point, I don't know who this guy is. I'm thinking it's her cousin the whole time. So I can hear him talking to her in the background. He pulls the phone from his face and looks at her and says, oh, y'all talk? And I hear her say, nah, I'm with you. So I'm like, bet. That's all I needed to hear. All the people around me or whatever, I guess they saw my face change. So they come and grab my phone out my hand. I guess they saw I was upset. Like, I was pissed, like livid. So they come and grab the phone out my hand or whatever, and they talking to the dude on the phone. Come to find out, the dude on the phone is the dude that she dated freshman year. That about the shoes I just told you about. It was him. So I'm like, bet, that's all I needed to hear. Like, it's a wrap for me. Ain't nothing else I need to say to her. So we ended up staying over there, and I wake up in the morning, I got like 30, 40 missed calls.
I was blowing him up because I need to explain myself. One, the guy who I was with freshman year and that night, he's crazy. So I had to say what was needed to be said to get out of there in one piece. But
I wasn't trying to hear it.
Right, he wasn't trying to hear it.
I mean, like...
Because honestly, I wasn't even with the particular guy.
Yeah, they weren't dating.
At all. Like, I just had to say... Like, I was just hanging out with him. But I just had to say what he...
That late at night, though. But...
I just had to say, I was bored in the house. You laugh?
Yeah, whatever.
I just had to say what was needed to, to be said.
So, back to the story. Like I said, I had like 30, 40 missed calls the next morning. Mm-hmm. So, I pick up my phone, and I'm debating on whether I'm going to call her back or not. And anybody knows me, they know that I'm stubborn. Like, that's not me. I'm not going to call her back. But it was something about her that was really tempting me to call her back, which I didn't. I did not call her, but it took everything in me not to. So I get a call from this random number, it's a 205 number. So I'm thinking like, I normally don't answer phone calls from numbers I don't know. For some reason, I just decided to pick up the phone, and something told me it was going to be her, which it wasn't. So I hear a female's voice, so I'm like, hello? And it was like, is this Ishmael? And I'm like, yeah. And it was like, this is Mikayla's sister. Don't hang up, don't hang up. So then she goes all the way into explaining the situation and telling me how sorry Mikayla is and how she wants to talk to me and this and that. So pretty much her sister's the one that led me to end up talking to her again, which I didn't call her. She ended up calling me, and I answered because her sister had already talked me up. Like, I was good. I wasn't upset anymore. Or I was, but I still needed some clarification. That's why I needed to talk to her. So she gets on the phone, and she apologizes and says this and that. Like, I don't want him, da-da-da-da-da. So I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm not really tripping off of it. So then we end up going back to talking again. And I find out she's still talking to this dude. So I'm like, I mean, I gave her an ultimatum. I'm like, it's either me or him. Like, you're not about to keep going back and forth.
Okay, one thing that we didn't say, I was a pimp in high school. She was. Not sexually. Like, she wasn't doing stuff sexually. I never wanted to feel like love or anything. I just didn't, or disappointment. Like, I didn't want to have those feelings. It was just more. She wanted options. Yeah. She wanted to get what she could from each of her dudes. Right, and just have fun. Like, nothing all serious or nothing. So, I'm talking to you. I may be talking to two other dudes. Like, that was just normal for me. That's who she was. Yeah. And I guess I was the first guy that really, like, wasn't going for her. Like, I told her straight up, like, you can talk to him if you want to, but you're not about to talk to both of us. So you got till like the end of this week to make your decision, or I'm gonna make it for you. So the end of the week rolls around, and the way that our school worked is everybody pretty much knew everybody. People was nosy as hell. If you basically were with the in crowd, which both of us were, everybody was in your business. So middle of the day rolls around, and I can't remember who it was, but somebody came up to me and was like, you see Mikayla today? Excuse me. I'm like, yeah, I saw her earlier. Well, what's up? Like, I ain't seen her in a minute. So they're like, oh, you know she left school with such and such, right? And such just happened to be her ex, the dude that she was talking to, like, talking to both of us. So I'm like, bet. All right. Appreciate it. So that's all I needed to hear. As far as I'm concerned, it's a wrap for me. She made her own decision. So, end of the day rolls around. She had cheerleading practice. I had basketball practice. So, she has to come back to the school, and I'm already up there. I'm just waiting for practice. So, she walks in the door, and her eyes all filled up with tears or whatever. But I'm not trying to hear it. I'm not trying to hear none of it. So, she walks toward me, and my whole face, like, is stone. Like, I look pissed. Like, I'm ready to let her know how I feel. So, she comes up to me and she was like, I did it. And I'm like, what? Like, you did what? Like, I want her to let me know she left school so I can let her ass have it. So she ends up saying, I did it. Like, I chose you. I told him that I didn't want to be with him no more. So at this point, I'm all of my anger is displaced now because what am I going to do with it? Like, I'm not mad anymore because she told me the truth, and she told me the reason why she left school. So I couldn't be upset no more. So I see that she about to start crying. So I grab her up, give her a hug or whatever. She lay her head on my chest and start crying now. And the reason I'm crying is because it was not easy to tell him, okay, I'm really done. Like, there is no, more of me and you.
That goes back to her telling y'all he's
crazy. Right. So, your mind should wonder, what does that mean? But yes, it was not easy. That day was not easy at all. I had to go through a lot.
I feel like it was different for me because I knew her ex, and I knew him through completely different circumstances. Like, he pretty much grew up around my family before I had moved to North Carolina. Like, him and my cousin Leek, they were really tight. So I never knew him as being crazy like she said. I always knew him, and he was always cool. Like, he was, still to this day he's cool, but he just, I don't know, I guess with her, she saw a different side of him that I had never seen before because obviously I had moved away and a lot of things happened in his life. So it led him down a different path. But yeah, it was just, I don't know, it was different for me. But that, I mean, I guess she took a leap of faith and turned out to be the best thing for her because, I mean, don't get no better than this. I tell her that all the time. But yeah, that's pretty much our story on how we got together. If you are watching this video, before we get out of here, you have anything you want to say?
No.
Before we get out of here, if you are watching this video, comment, like, share, whatever. Give us some input because what we are doing, this is actually just like an intro video, just to give you a brief background on us. But what we are doing is we're giving like relationship tips or any type of advice or any topics that you guys have pertaining to relationships. Comment them below the video, or hit us on Facebook, whatever, however y'all want to do it. But we've had a lot of feedback so far, so we do actually have another video coming following this one, which we'll probably record right now. So if we got on the same stuff, no, we don't wear the same stuff every day. It's just we recorded another video. But yeah, just give us some feedback on what y'all want to hear us talk about, or relationship issues that y'all go through, anything that other people go through. We'll keep them completely anonymous. We're not going to blast nobody or nothing like that. But yeah, just let us know. And that's it.
Bye.